Hello again, everyone, and welcome to another Around the Town of Brantford with Henry and Frank. I'm Frank Toohill. We're here at the Brantford Arts and Cultural Alliance Gallery, located at 1004 Main Street, right on the Brantford Green, across from the Congregational Church. And I'm with the president of the Brantford Arts and Cultural Alliance Board of Directors, Frank Carano. It's great to be back here, Frank, with you.
Thanks for coming. I really appreciate the fact that you're providing this opportunity for us to show the public what a wonderful space we have here in this gallery.
It really is a wonderful space, and it's a multi-purpose space as well. And you can learn all about the Brantford Arts and Cultural Alliance by going to the website, right? It's
BrantfordArts.org.
BrantfordArts.org. And they also have a great Facebook page. What's that, sir?
It's a Brantford Arts and Cultural Alliance. BACA, B-A-C-A.
BACA for short. And I'm sure you've driven by this great gallery right here on Main Street. It's been open for about a year now?
Almost a year. We opened last July, and it's been a very wonderful experience, providing an opportunity for people to come in and visit a gallery, some of them for the very first time. And I think that's what we enjoy the most, is that our doors are open and we welcome anyone to come in, even if they just want to browse or they just want the experience of being able to see art in all of its many forms.
Now, the Brantford Arts and Cultural Alliance, it's like a friend to the arts, right? It's a nonprofit organization. And as Frank just said, if you're walking by and you want to come in, and see some Brantford or local art, then this is the place for that.
Yeah, we have artists from along the shoreline. We have 50 artists exhibiting in the gallery right now. We're just about to open our new summer exhibit. We run exhibits for 2 months, and every 2 months we bring in new art, so that there's another reason for people to come in and visit the gallery, because there's something you haven't seen before. And it's a wonderful mixture of art. We have contemporary art, traditional art, we have sculpture, we have ceramics, we have jewelry, we have wonderful woodwork and stained glass. It's a feast for the eyes, it really is, because when you walk through the gallery, you see how creative people can be and how much you can use your imagination to express what you want to pass on to another person. So it's all in how people interpret nature, and then how they take that interpretation and put it on a piece of canvas. It's really wonderful. It really inspires me every time I walk in here.
It's true, and it's grown over the last year since it opened. And also, on our program, we have three artists, 3 of the 50 artists that Frank mentioned, that all contribute here to the BACA Gallery. 3 of the artists are with us, and they're going to talk to us, we're going to meet them, and they're going to show us their art.
Yes, they are. Yes, and along the way, hopefully you'll get just a small sampling of, as I said, the many different types of art, because people have different tastes in art. And when you come into the gallery, I think you will find something that will match just about anyone's artistic taste.
Absolutely. Okay, so the art gallery here at BACA is open during the week, and also what hours?
We're open Wednesday through Saturday, 11 to 5, and we're probably going to have some summer late hours, probably on a Friday night. We haven't quite worked that out yet, but we're likely to be open on Friday night. We have been working in conjunction with our neighbors here, the other businesses along Main Street. Mm-hmm. One of the things that we have when you come to the gallery, the back wall actually has art on the outside, and that art is visible to the patrons who come to the restaurant in the back, because they have an outdoor courtyard.
Oh, isn't that great? That's a great idea.
Yeah, and the other thing I want to mention is that we have a dedicated wall for student art.
Really?
And right now we have examples of wonderful photographic work of the Brantford High School students. We've had the work of Walsh Intermediate School 5th and 6th graders. And so every month or so during the year, and we hope to carry this on in the fall, we will have rotating exhibits of student art from our public schools.
That is so great. I mean, right, if you're a student at one of the Brantford schools, and also, by the way, the man I'm speaking with, Frank Carano, who's longtime chairman of the Board of Education in Brantford, and, you did a great job when you were the chairman of the Board of Ed.
I appreciate that. I have strong beliefs in the fact that through art we can learn much of what we need to know. And having students who have an artistic talent, sometimes we focus too much on the kinds of activities that are physical. Do you play a sport? Are you on a team? Those kinds of things. There are many students in the schools who may not be athletically gifted, but who are artistically gifted. And I really believe that they deserve the same kind of exposure and support as we give to those other students who are athletes and who play the sports that we all enjoy watching.
The other thing, Frank, too, right, at that age, when they're at Walsh Middle or at the Brantford High School, right, and, if some gallery like this chooses one of their artworks, right, to be in the exhibit, that's a big thing for them, and it could even change their lives.
It's a wonderful incentive for a student to believe that the talent they have is something that they can continue to develop. And who knows, there's a young man here now, Mark Masaro. You're going to meet him in a few minutes. And when I was a teacher in New Haven, I knew Mark when he was a student at Wilbur-Cross High School. And he was a gifted artist even then. And through the support of his family and some benefactors, he was able to go and major in art, and now he is a full-time professional artist. That's his career.
That's wonderful.
It is wonderful, yes, yes.
That's great. So,
just one last thing. We have also endowed a scholarship at Brantford High School.
Really?
For any student, a $1,000 scholarship for any student who will major in the arts in college. That's visual arts, that's dance or music. Last year, 2 students received, they split the award in half. One student went to Berkeley Music School.
Wow.
And
That's
a
big.
young lady who is, her goal is to become a performer. She wants to major in the performing arts.
Okay. All right, that's great. And so, right, we're just about to meet our first artist, and I believe the first one's going to be Jeanette Mobeck.
Jeanette Mobeck.
And she's going to actually, show us some of her artwork that's on display right here at the Brantford Arts and Cultural Alliance. But before we go to that, Frank, just a little more about this wonderful space. First of all, it's not just for paintings, right? It's for other arts as well, right?
Absolutely. As I said earlier, we have all types of visual art. We have paintings and sculpture. We have fabric art. We have ceramics. We have jewelry. We have wonderful lamps that are totally handmade. And right in front of us is some really interesting sculpture that people enjoy buying and showing in their gardens.
Yeah.
So when you come to the gallery, you're going to have an experience that will provide you with an opportunity to see art in all of its many forms.
Now, you also do dance here, right?
Well, we haven't done any dance yet. We have a concert coming up on Sunday, mandolin performance of some mandolin players at 2 o'clock Sunday here at the gallery.
Wow.
So our goal, we're working with the Brantford Musical Arts Society, and we hope to schedule a series of concerts here on a Sunday afternoon. Because it's a wonderful experience to listen to music in an environment such as this.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, also, you mentioned sculpture. Now, right, there's a couple of pieces that the Brantford Arts and Cultural Alliance has placed, right, on one of the greens down by the Blackstone Library, west of the library, right?
Yes, those are by internationally known sculptor David Hayes. And we were able to make arrangements with the Hayes Foundation to rent. We have to rent those pieces, and they'll be on display for 1 year in the park.
Well, I mean, they really add, to the
They
green.
do. They
really-
do.
Yeah.
And it's kind of an extension of the gallery. So when you walk out of the gallery, if you walk down a block or two, you'll see more art.
Yeah.
So that's our goal with that.
It's really great. So, if you're into art at all, no matter what type, you have a friend right here on the Brantford Green. Come in and get involved. Also, Frank, right? This organization, you can join, right?
Oh, well, absolutely. You can join BACA, be a BACA supporter, and also if you have any interest at all in volunteering in the gallery, we welcome people to come in and spend a couple hours a week just being in the gallery and talking to people as they come in and giving them information about the art and the artists.
Now, the mission statement is, right, to support all of the arts in Brantford and on the Connecticut shoreline. So, no matter what you're into,
Yes.
you have a place here, right,
Absolutely.
at BACA, the
Absolutely.
Brantford Arts and Cultural Alliance, 1004 Main Street, right on the Brantford Green. Hours are Wednesday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m., possibly opening during the summer on Friday nights.
Right.
Okay, Frank, great to be here.
Thank you. Thank you, Frank, so much.
Oh, it's a pleasure. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to go over and meet the artist, Jeanette Mobeck of Brantford, and she's going to show us some of her art right here on display.
There she is. All right. Thank you.
Okay, stay with us. Around the Town of Brantford with Henry and Frank continues. Okay, so now we're still here at the Brantford Arts and Cultural Alliance Gallery right on Main Street, and I'm speaking with Brantford artist Jeanette Mobeck.
Well, thank you. Hi, how are you? This is so fun to have Frank here, who I've known for many years, and it's just delightful to be able to share our beautiful gallery. And I'm just going to talk about this one piece. This one piece of watercolor is the wildflowers that grow in Jackson Hole. I was out visiting my daughter, and there was this wonderful field of wildflowers, and I just wanted to capture it in sort of a loose and light way, and the mountains and the sunsets and the flowers captured me, and that was how I created this painting. But I've been here since the beginning, and I'm on the board of the Brantford Arts and Cultural Alliance, and we look forward to everyone in our community coming and supporting us and buying art and enjoying it. Even if you don't buy it, just come and enjoy the whole beautiful building of color and shapes and forms. It's just really amazing.
It's true. It really is. This has grown so much in the last year. And there's, right, Jeanette, there's now, how many artists are involved here?
There's almost 50 artists, but since we started last June, we've probably had over 100 artists who have displayed here off and on since then. So we
great.
keep looking for new artists. So if you're an artist out there, come in and see us. We would love to talk to you and have you share in this joy.
That's great. All right, Jeanette, thanks for being with us. That's Jeanette Mobeck, the Brantford artist, and you see her work
Thank you,
there.
Frank.
It's really nice.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so we're now going to talk. We're going to cross over to the gallery, and we're going to speak to Robert Thomas. He's going to tell us about his artwork. So stay with us. Around the Town of Brantford with Henry and Frank continues. Okay, we're back here. We're still here at the Brantford Arts and Cultural Alliance Gallery, right at 1004 Main Street in Brantford. And we're interviewing three artists. We already spoke to Jeanette Mobeck, and now we're speaking to Robert Thomas. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thank you. Yeah, it's great that you folks were able to come here and see our gallery. We have over, believe it or not, 50 artists in this location in all different mediums, be it watercolor, oils, pastel, collage, and I do photography.
Photography. Okay, so all the work behind us is your art.
Yes, that's correct.
Wow. You got some really beautiful.
Well, these images are all relatively local. The image that's probably furthest away, quite a distance, is New York City. But I've had the opportunity to live in Europe and Asia, and I've always enjoyed photography. And I found during COVID that we had to look locally. We couldn't travel, and so a lot of these images are right here in Connecticut. And like I say, the greatest distance is New York City.
Yes.
So if
That's
we,
Grand Central Station, right?
yes,
That's
is
this
Grand
one here?
Central. Well, as we call Grand Central Terminal.
Yes.
Grand Central Terminal. These two images, the one at the top and the one at the bottom here, were taken with a slow shutter speed to show a little bit of motion. And it was enjoyable to go down there to the city and to take some photographs.
This, if I could ask, this photograph up over my head, what's that?
Well, there are two images here, this one over your head and the one down below. I started photographing the moon, and with the cameras today, you can set them to take an image every so many minutes. And in this case, I was taking an image every minute and a half. Wow. And then recently, we had the eclipse of the moon. In May 15th, we had a full eclipse of the moon. And I was able to, out on my deck, right here in Brantford, photograph the moon as it went through the various phases to full eclipse.
Wow.
And it was from 9:30 p.m. till midnight. So I had my Kindle sitting out there reading a book as this went through the various phases. something to
great.
pass the time.
It was such a clear night.
Well, it was surprising because the weather forecast was for cloudy, and it turned out to be a good night.
That's great. So all these great photography pieces, all the shots here, were all done by Bob Thomas, and you should come in and see him. So you've been with the BACA for a while?
Yes, we've been very fortunate here at our location for a number of months. We just recently signed a lease that we will be here for probably another 10 to 12 months, and we'll see how things go beyond that. Wow. But we have, as I had mentioned earlier, 50 or 60 artists,
Yep.
and every different kind of medium you can imagine.
Yep.
So I would suggest to people, come out, see the gallery. There's an amazing amount of artwork here every day.
It's true. There's a lot of talent in Brantford on display here for you at the Brantford Arts and Cultural Alliance. We've been speaking with Robert Thomas, and our third artist now coming up is Mark Masaro. So stay with us as our program continues. Okay, we're now here with Mark Masaro. He's a professional artist, and he's going to show us his beautiful paintings here on display. And it's great to be with you, Mark.
It's great to be here, too. Yes, I am Mark Masaro. I am a professional artist. I have lived in Brantford for 50 years, and I have maintained my career as an artist in Brantford for 50 years. I am also the director of the Brantford Art Studio, which is an art school here in Brantford, and this year we're celebrating our 20th anniversary of opening the school and providing classes to the Shoreline community. In addition to that, I work as a portrait painter and as a fine artist, and brings us to what we're looking at here. I am exhibiting here on a regular basis here at the BACA Gallery, and I do a variety of different types of work. I do a lot of landscape work, I do a lot of portraiture, and also still life. This particular exhibit that we have here today is still life work. And what's very personal about the subject matter here is a lot of the objects that are in these paintings belonged to family members. One I can point out is this particular painting right here. That's a foghorn, and that foghorn belonged to my grandfather, who was a commercial fisherman, and he actually used that foghorn on his boat.
Wow.
And this is an old seal test milk can that has been around the family for years, and I don't know exactly how we ended up having it, but it's been around for a long time, and I thought it would be interesting to place in a painting.
Yes.
And that's pretty much, the objects, as I said, in these paintings are things that I've had for a very, very long time, and they have personal meaning to me because they belong to either my parents or my grandparents. And what you're seeing here is all oil on canvas, and this particular exhibit will run for the next 2 months, and then it'll change again. And as with most of the paintings here in the Baca Gallery, the shows will change, and every time you come in here, you have the opportunity to see new work. I think this gallery is a real diamond in the center of Brantford. It's wonderful that it has opened. It has been quite successful, and proof of that is that even during the pandemic, to have a gallery gain the amount of success that it has is a testament to how important the arts are to the center of Brantford and to the public in general, because the public has responded with enormous enthusiasm. Any opening that you come to the gallery here, it's always packed with people. So it's a good, positive thing for the center of Brantford. I'm very, very happy that this gallery is here.
I am too, and so stop in. It's open from Wednesday through Saturday, and the hours are 11 a.m. until 5 p.m. And stop in, and you will be amazed at the quality and also the variety of art that's on display. We have a lot of talented people in Brantford.
Oh, more than people think, and not just artists that paint. A wide variety of artisans that do not only painting but jewelry, pottery, weaving, sculpture. It's just goes on and on and on. An amazing amount of creative people here in this town.
I was very interested to hear from Frank before. He said that right when you were going to Wilbur Cross High School,
Yes.
that's
yes.
when your art began to flourish, your talent, and so all these years you've been a professional artist. That's great.
Yeah, I grew up in New Haven, and I went to Wilbur Cross High School. Frank Carano was one of my guidance counselors. Yeah, and he was actually had a hand in me receiving an art scholarship for me to start my career. So I've known Frank a long, long time. We're old friends.
That's wonderful. And it can happen again because, as Frank said, they're offering a scholarship to Brantford High School students. If you go on to major in an art in college, it's $1,000. So
Yeah.
I mean, he's still helping young artists all these years. It's great.
It's wonderful. It's just wonderful that he's involved in that way.
It's
Yeah.
true. It really is. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I always kid him that it's like, gee, I'm getting older. He just never changes.
It's unbelievable. All that he's accomplished.
Yeah.
Too. It's true.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thanks so much for explaining and showing your art, Mark.
Oh,
And,
my
you know,
pleasure. My pleasure.
Stop in and
come
see
down
it.
to the Baca Gallery and see the shows.
See it for yourself, right in person. All right, so we have a fourth artist that we're going to visit with next. Her name is Oi, so stay with us. Around the Town of Brantford continues with Henry and Frank. Okay, I'm with Oi Fortin now. She's a monochrome printmaker, and some of her just beautiful prints are on display here at Baca, and she's going to describe the paintings. So let's start with you yourself, the artist. How did you get into art, Oi?
24 years ago, I left the corporate world to be a mom. And after 2 years of being a mom, I decided to enroll in art school called Creative Arts Workshop in New Haven. And I happened to be in a class for printmakers, so I enjoyed that very much and decided that that was my medium going forward. And so 20 plus year later, I am doing this full time, have a studio at Rector Square, have my own printing press, and I'm so grateful for Frank and Samantha to having my work here, and it's been very successful and well received and well appreciated by the patrons.
That's great. All that's great to hear. Oh, it's very interesting, as to how you started.
Yeah.
So I mean, would you talk about some of the works that are on display?
Sure. Monotype prints is painterly, so my work is specialized in layering colors on top of one another. And what's important about layering pieces of shapes or color on top of one another is the duration in which one have to wait so that the color doesn't blend in together. So it's quite fun to do. However, you can destroy a piece of artwork by over layering things and it becomes a muddle. So the process, like for instance, this little piece here, this background go on first, and then it takes about a week or so for it to dry, and then the shape go on top of that, and then the next shape, and then the next shape, and then the next shape. So in this, for instance, I don't need to let any layer dry. I just stack one on top of the other. This particular piece, I do have to wait until the background inks dry before I put any shape on top. So these series are from, I love the Matisse cutout.
Matisse, yeah.
Cutout
I saw that exhibit, yeah.
in New York City. And
MoMA,
yeah, and that was 2015, and I tried to figure out how to use the cutout method to be part of my printmaking process.
He was such a great artist, and all of the contemporary artists of his day looked up to him, including Picasso.
Yeah.
He used to look up to Matisse
Yeah.
as inspiration
Yeah.
for. He was amazing.
Yeah.
Of course, they all were.
Yes, they all were. The Impressionist artists are my favorite. So
definitely.
anyway, so these, my colors are very much mid-century color palette. So
It's really beautiful.
Thank you.
And you have a painting in your or you have
yeah,
a print in
this
your
is-
hand.
This is actually a painting.
Oh, it is?
It's an acrylic painting on Fabiano paper. I'm a sailor. And in order to do printmaking on the boat, I can't bring a printing press. So I'm learning a new medium, which is acrylic, painting acrylic on paper while I'm sailing in the summertime.
Isn't
so
that great?
this is part of my another venue, another study, another learning experience
Oh, that's
altogether.
great. That's
Thank
great.
you.
That's wonderful.
Thank you.
Well, it's been great to speak with you, and to learn about you, and also to see your art, which is really fabulous.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
So be sure to stop in and see all the artists' works, including the 4 that we just interviewed for you. Oy Fortin, and we talked to Mark Masaro and Robert Thomas, as well as Jeanette Mobeck. So it was great to be here today, and this art, the world here, right, it's waiting for you to come in and check it out for yourself. 1004 Main Street, open Wednesday through Saturday from 11 until 5 p.m. So for all of us, for Henry Pond, I'm Frank Tuhill. Until next time, goodbye.